Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode of the Inspiring Heart Show. And today we have a very special guest amidst us. We have Sister Christine with us. Sister Christine is a spiritual guide helping number of youth to grow towards God, towards life and towards a better humanity. And we welcome Sister. Welcome to this podcast.
Thank you. Thank you, Romero.
I am very inspired to hear about you. Your life is very motivational. You had one roller coaster over another.
Yes.
Facing number of trials
Yes.
and difficulties in life. To start with, how is it this journey of yours as a spiritual guide? Now, I have heard about spiritual guides in congregations, religious
yeah.
order. Now, how as a lay person now, you are a spiritual guide to many more religious, especially religious
Especially
and as well as
religious.
the lay people.
Yeah.
How is this journey towards spiritual guide?
Okay, so I'll tell you where my journey began. Okay, so I am born in a Hindu family, a Gujarati,
Okay.
and I was seeking God since childhood. I had this great thirst for God. And as a Hindu, I had learned a shlok in Sanskrit which says, Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhu cha sakha tvameva. So you are my all actually, my mother, my father, my friend, my companion. Tvameva sarvam. So you are my all in all. So I think that relating and relying on God for everything was imbibed in me since childhood. And I went to the temple every day. But I did not find my God. I was still searching, seeking. When I was in my 6th class, my papa used to take me to school. So I used to be the pillion rider. And there's this one particular place, one signal where it was a red light and the scooter stopped.
Okay.
And I made a prayer saying, God, I know that you are the Almighty. And I know that you know me. But I don't know who you are and I want to know you. And I remember that prayer very well because God in His mercy chose to answer my prayer. So over the years, it has been a revelation of God as my Father. I found my God in Jesus Christ. It has been a journey of seeking, longing, and discovering. It has been a beautiful journey, and I will not want to exchange this with anything else in life because I feel so content and so happy. Not only knowing Jesus, but that I belong to Him. And I often say God is my Father. I even tell my own Papa, you don't worry about me. God is my Father and He will take care of me. And I have seen this hand of the Father and the mad love of the Father over the years in my life.
I'm feeling now very excited. You know why? Because
Yes, tell
I
me.
have never started a podcast which is very deep
Yes.
and very spiritual.
Ha.
And in this note, now you are born in a Hindu family.
Yes.
The way you communicate to me, it sounds very much of a Christian God we identify. How did you get that identity?
As I told you, I was searching and seeking. So I went to different worship places. One is being born and brought up as a Hindu. I went to Hindu temples. And I also went to Jain Derasar. So near my house, there was a Jain Derasar and they used to have a Pathshala. So I wanted to know God and wanted to know more about Him. So I began going there with some friends from my society. But again, I didn't feel anything, okay? I just went for some time and I didn't meet God. I even visited a dargah, seeking God. I wanted to find that Almighty, whom I knew that He knows me. I wanted to find Him. So even as a young child, my mental prayer, I believe now when I reflect, that my mental prayer began when I was a little child. So after supper, when my parents would watch TV, I would withdraw and go to another room and stand at the window and look at the stars and the moon and talk to some God. And every day, that was my everyday schedule. I think I was around 16. I was in my 10th class. I had seen a church in the movie Amar Akbar Anthony. But I had never visited a church. However, there is my parish church is like 7 minutes walking distance from my house. But I had never visited a church. And also then there was a cake shop in my area.
Okay.
And I am fond of pastries. So I used to collect all my pocket money, save it, and go and spend there, buy some pastries. So the supervisor there became a good friend of mine, certainly because a regular customer.
Yeah, obviously, yes.
So she became a good friend of mine. She's a Catholic girl.
Okay.
So after knowing her for like 2 months, I asked her, I said, can you please take me to the church? She said, okay. So the following day we went for Mass. And when we went for Mass, nothing spectacular happened to me that day, okay? I went there as a tourist. I went there in my short pants and t-shirt. And she's like, are you going to come this way? I said, yes. And you have a problem? And she's like, no, I'm only asking. I said, oh, yeah. This is how I even go to the temple. So she's like, okay. And I went there and I was like, why these souls are so restless, no? Why can't they sit in one place and pray? So they are standing and kneeling. And so I'm looking at different... I'm wondering, I said, what is wrong with them? Like, they're so restless. But okay, after Mass, we came back, nothing happened to me. But this friend and I, we became really close friends. So after Mass, she used to go for Mass often, 3-4 times a week. After Mass, we used to go for these roadside snacks. So I had to wait for that half an hour. And I chose not to wait on the road for her, but to wait in the church for her. That is when I heard the word of God. And that is what touched me. It brought about some... I could feel, now I can say that some movements in my heart, no? And Jesus became my constant companion. So before I met him as my God, I first met him as a friend. My constant companion. So I used to be blabbering to Jesus about anything and everything in life. So I'm waiting for a bus, I'm talking to Jesus. And it went on and on. And I realized that I've fallen in love with this man from Galilee. It is only later, and at that time I remember very strongly that when I used to go for Mass and they would pray the creed, no? I would not say I believe in the Holy Catholic Church. At that time I used to keep mum and look around here and there. But I would not say that. As a Hindu, we have been brought up saying that there are some millions of Devi and Devtas. No. So Jesus would be one added to the collection, no problem. The problem began when I stopped going to church. Stopped going to the temple. So that time my father was a little angry and I met a lot of persecution at home in the way of humiliation sometime. And I took it in my stride because all I wanted was God in my life. And I wanted to give myself completely to him at that young age of 16, 17. At the same time, I was very careful because I felt that, that is an age where you can easily get infatuated, carried away. So I wanted to be sure that I am not getting carried away with something. So I took my time to discern. Now I name it as discerning, but I took my time to really know what I want and if this is what I want and if this is a reality for me. So after a few years, I got baptized and in my parish, and I used to sit before my baptism. I used to long every day. Every day I went for Mass. So every day I would sit and people would walk down the aisle to receive Holy Communion, and I would be just sitting there and knowing that Jesus loves me so much that he left his body and blood even for me to be united with me, and I am not able to receive him. So with that great longing, I used to attend Mass every day, knowing that one day probably I will walk down the same aisle. It happened. So I got baptized in 2003.
How was the reception in your family?
Oh my! So nobody knew I got baptized.
Oh,
Okay.
I see.
Now I had to tell my parents. So I told my mother I'm getting baptized. Now I didn't explain to her what baptism is.
Okay.
I only told her I'm getting baptized.
What is this age we are talking about?
I would be 23, 24.
Okay, you are already a
20.
major.
Yeah. So how I got my baptism dress was we were told to wear something white. Now, as a Hindu, we wear white as a mourning color.
Yes, widows.
Yeah.
Widower.
So I didn't have anything white. And I said, now what to do? It so happened that maybe a month before my baptism, my mom went for shopping somewhere and she got a white material. And she chose a pattern and she got the whole thing embroidered with silver and to make it a formal outfit. So she got it ready for me, not knowing that I need a white salwar kameez. Before my baptism, my dress was ready. And I was like, wow. So I wore that dress and I went to church. So my baptism was not on at a Easter Vigil Mass.
Okay.
I got baptized on Easter Sunday because I had curfew at home. I had to be home by 8:30.
Yeah.
So I had a curfew. And if I say I'm going to get baptized, they would have killed me then. So I didn't say anything. Then Easter Sunday Mass morning, I went to church and of course I was already a part of the youth group then. So my friends from the youth group arranged something. They arranged for the choir and whatever. And I got baptized. Wow, that day was like, it was a beautiful experience for me.
Because I'm wondering, still the puzzle is not solved.
Yes.
Still you are in your baptism and I'm wondering how this journey to spiritual director has come.
Yes. I had read one article which had a reference to the story of a soul, which is the autobiography of Saint Therese. So the title fascinated me. By then I was in touch with a priest, though I was not baptized yet. I was in touch with a priest and I went and I told him, I said, Father, I want to read this book. So he said, I'll get it for you. So I told him on a Sunday. On Tuesday I met him, he gave me the book. Following Sunday, I had to go and meet him again and I had finished reading the story of a soul. And I went there, I went to him saying, Father, I want to become a nun.
Oh my God.
I was 17.
Big leap of faith.
Yes, I was 17. More than faith, no. For me, it was mad love. I am madly in love with this man from Galilee. I am madly in love with Jesus. So for me, it was more love, no. I said, I want to join. And so he said, okay. Then probably look at some congregations. No, I said, no. If ever, so he was giving me some, suggesting some active congregations. So I told him, I said, no, Father, if ever I become a nun, I will be like Therese. Otherwise, I'm happy the way I am. Carmel, Cloistered Carmel, not only Carmel, Cloistered Carmel. And by that time, I didn't even know that there were Carmels in India. A little later, I came to know that there is a Carmel in Bombay itself. So I used to visit them. I kept in touch with them over the years. When I wanted to join Carmel, so then by then I told my parents and all that. And my mother cried and she said, if you go to Carmel, I'll commit suicide. I said, you are an adult. You choose what you want to do. And then she's like, will you not miss your mother? I said, surely I will miss my mother. I love my mama more than I love anyone else. But I feel a great longing, a calling to this life. And meanwhile, so they were very upset and they could not understand. So my father has even gone to Carmel along with his friends. And the prioress was like frightened, okay? She called me, Christine, your father's dead. I said, really? I didn't know. He's not at home, so I didn't know. So 2003, I wanted to join Carmel. And my date was finalized 15th August.
Entry into
Carmel. 10th August, my mom was diagnosed of cancer. So, I was little, not very, but little shattered. More than shattered, I was lost. That what does God want of me? Because it's this desire from God.
Yeah, we always look for signs and affirmations.
Yes, and I'm wondering what. And then I called the prioress in Bombay Carmel and I told her that I wouldn't be able to join now. Please accompany me, and ask the sisters to accompany me with their prayers, because my mom has been diagnosed of cancer and I can't leave her. So she was okay. She said okay. So I took care of mummy for 8 years. After 8 years, she succumbed to cancer. She passed away in 2011.
So sorry about it.
But I feel that God has a plan. And I thank God that my mom suffered from cancer. Because if it wasn't for this, she wouldn't have met Christ. So she died as a baptized Catholic. She received her baptism 1 week before her death.
Where is the reason for that?
I kept reminding her of all that God has done in her life. So cancer, 8 years of cancer, so financially a big burden. But every time that we required medication, somehow God came to our rescue. And she could see how I turned to Jesus for everything. And Jesus never let me down. So she would ask me, will you tell your Jesus to heal me? Will you tell your Jesus to forgive me? And I would tell her that, you can talk to him as well. You can ask him. Oh, will he listen to me? I said, yes. Does he know Gujarati? I said, sure, he knows all the languages. And she saw the joy that I have through all the pain in life. And she would want that joy. I want what you have, she would say. I said, I have the biggest treasure. I have Christ. And 1 week before her death, she asked for baptism. And she used to show me her tongue. So I realized she wanted to receive Holy Communion, because she had seen me receiving Holy Communion. So I would ask her, do you really, because I know she was on medications, I would ask her, and she's like, I know, I want Jesus. So mummy passed away in 2011. Meanwhile, because I was at home for so many years, 2003, I wanted to join Carmel. Yeah. So I started work. I worked in a bank. I was a manager in the bank when I resigned.
Bank manager, is it?
I was a service manager.
Okay.
When I resigned. And my parents would wonder. One reason I resigned was I couldn't give enough time to pray. And I had become a Sunday Catholic, which I couldn't accept. Another thing, my mom was sick and she required a lot of attention and time. And I felt, what am I going to do with all the money?
You are the only daughter?
I have a sister, older sister. She's 5 years older to me. She got married quite early. So I was at home taking care of my parents. So when I realized that, what am I going to do with all this money that I earn in the bank and then lose my soul? So then she died in 2011. And
after you joined, how was it like?
After that, after 1 year, I joined. 2012, I joined Carmel. So when she died, so then I told my father, okay, now it's time. He's like, no, 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 you took care of mommy, now take care of me also. I said, this is not fair to me. I said, I am an adult. By then I was 32. I said, I am an adult and I can join Carmel anytime I want. But I'm also your daughter. So I will not join till you bless me. I will go to Carmel only with your blessing. So he was like, now the ball was in his court, so you didn't know what to do. But he saw me, he saw how dissatisfied I was in life. And then finally one day, so, we manipulate. So that little manipulation also I did. I wanted to go for a come-and-see program to Carmel. 3 months we can go and stay there. So I called, but some things happened and I got in touch with Baroda Carmel. Because the prioress there, Mother Gemma, I had met her when she had visited Bombay Carmel for some meetings. So I had met her. So I called her and I told her, I said, Mother, this longing is too much. I can't wait. And she said, you come for a 3 months come and see and you see what God is calling you to. I said, okay. So I told my sister. Now my sister was supportive. So I told her, I said, see, I want to go for 3 months. But Papa is not giving me permission. You call him and you tell him, okay, let her go for 3 months. There, no, she has to get up at 4:30 in the morning. And the life is difficult there. She will never ask you again. She'll go for 3 months, come back, and then she'll never ask you to join Carmel. Because difficult life, she's not going to manage. So she called my father and she told him, okay, let her go. So my father was quite convinced. So he said, okay, you go for 3 months and come back. I fell in love with that place. So when I came back, he was like so angry with her. I fell in love with Carmel, but he was angry with her. So I waited. I said, I will go. I want to join Carmel. But until you don't bless me, I will not go. Then he saw I was quite miserable. So after a few months, he said, okay, if you want to join. So 21st November 2012, I joined, entered Carmel as a postulant.
Okay.
And that day, I had 19 people from my family, all Hindus, who accompanied me from Bombay to Baroda to reach me to Carmel. And when I was about to enter the enclosure door, my father calls me, come here. I said, what happened? See, only 2 years. Huh? After that, you come back. I said, okay, right now, please let me go. That's how I entered Carmel. My life in Carmel has been very beautiful, fruitful, meaningful to me. Today, what I am, I thank my formators in Carmel. They did a great job to form me, to imbibe in me these values of religious life, to form my conscience, religious conscience, a Christian conscience, because I came from a Hindu background. So they really worked hard on me, and I am very grateful to them. So I was there for 6 years, 3 months to be precise. And it was a struggle. It was not an easy time for me. There was a struggle. A lot of purification that took place. And then after some time, like for quite some time, I was discerning that can I do this all the days of my life? To be in the cloister. See, I like the life of hiddenness, of silence, of solitude. I enjoy that. So even now I seek solitude. I seek silence. But can I be in the cloister all the days of my life? And I was praying about it. And then, as we read the signs of the time, I wasn't happy. I felt God was calling me to something else. I know that He has a plan for me, plan for my prosperity and not for my downfall. But Carmel may be not for me for all the days of my life. So in 2019, before I could renew my religious profession, I left. After I left, I was in total darkness, desolation. I was wondering, what does God want from me? And I've always sought His will. But I would tell Him, listen, I cannot understand science and all that. Huh? You want me to do something, tell me. But tell me in black and white and I'll do it. So now I'm like in total darkness, wondering what to do. So then I said, okay, fine. After a few months, I started looking out for a job. Because I come from the banking background, so some friends of mine from the bank came to know that I'm back and all. So they were like, oh, come on, you can join us again and all that. And I did, actually, when I was in the bank, I did amazingly well. In 4 years, I got 5 promotions there. So I did amazingly well. But I didn't want to get into that corporate life. So somebody offered me a job heading some customer service. And at the same time, Nirmala Niketan sisters, Daughters of the Heart of Mary. So they have a college, they have 2 colleges in Bombay. So at the same time, they called me, they offered a job, part-time, in admin, 4 hours job. So here there was a job offering 70,000 a month and here it was 10,000 a month. And I took that 10,000 job and I said, I will go and I will work with the sisters. So when I entered, I joined the college as an admin staff. Students started coming to talk to me. After being there for like 1.5 months, every day I used to have a long queue of students outside the cabin waiting to speak to me. So initially they would come and like just share, laugh with me and crack some jokes. Then boys, tall, huge boys coming and crying, or someone lost his father and something else happened. So the boys, girls, they would come and talk to me, the students. And slowly, the professors in the college, they started coming to me. So some of them were like, oh, my prayer life is not too good. The sisters in the community, they would ask me some questions like, now what to do? I'm stuck here in this place. This is how I pray and I want to grow. So it began with casual conversations like that. But I was still discerning. I wanted to be a religious. So I thought maybe if not cloister, I can be an active religious. And so I was looking at different options available. So that time I was sent to one of my very dear Jesuit priest, Father Philip Terasa. So he was in Bombay, very well known for discernment. The first time when he met me, he said, sister, maybe God is asking you to begin something on your own. I said, no, God will never ask me to do that. So you see where I fit in. Yeah. Then we made a discernment retreat together and then I was convinced. So I was asked to make a list of people who came to me for spiritual guidance. And when I made a list, it was more than 30 in a span of 1 year. And then I could not deny to see what God is using me for. And I was not actively doing any ministry as such. So that's how I began in a little way, a small way, being a spiritual director. So I would go to Vinalaya to meet him. Brothers
From Vinayala.
from Vinalaya. They used to wait to meet. So I used to finish meeting my spiritual director. Then I used to meet them. So they also used to form a queue there. And one thing I remember, the day Father Teresa passed away, I went for the funeral. And I was very close to him. We both were each other's confidant. No? We had come to that level. So he used to ask me for my help and my opinion and my advice on certain matters, and I would go to him for direction. And the day he passed away, after we've just buried him, brothers were waiting to meet me. And that time I felt Jesus calling me, saying, forget yourself. So that time I felt that Jesus was asking me to that, all for him, nothing for me. And I believe that there will be a time, a day, when Jesus will say, Christine, now all for you, nothing for me. So I'm waiting to meet that union with God. And that's my whole goal, desire.
That is very lovely. So lovely to know, seriously.
Yeah. And so besides me waiting to attain that total union, I want all to enjoy this bliss.